Now, if you want to create a page or a post for the very first time, first of all, I would encourage you to go and have a look at your website and try and find another page on your website that looks very similar to what you're trying to achieve, and it has a very similar layout in terms of it has a big heading at the top where you want it, it's got two smaller headings down lower where you want them, or it has an image on the right hand side, an image on the left hand side, or a big image that's centered across the page. It has as many elements as you want. You may even have to steal elements from more than one page. Let's say, for example, another page has a list of bullet points and you want to know how to put bullet points on there, then make sure you've got the HTML from that text document open as well, so you can find the bits of code that make up those different elements that you want. And so once you've done that, in this case I'll just go to post, but a page is going to be very similar, only you go to pages and add new, but here we're going to go to posts and add new. Now again, you can look at how the existing stuff on your site is done by going a look and opening up in a new window. You could go to the all posts, right click on that, open in a new tab, so it opens it up there, and you can go and have a look at how another post is set out and see what categories and things like that they're in, if you want to do a comparison as you go along. But it is pretty straightforward from here. It says enter title here, and so it would be my new post. Okay, as soon as you click on away from that there, WordPress will actually automatically generate the link to that new post. In here is where you'll add your HTML, which I'm hoping you've already put that into a Word document. And if you haven't created that, I find that the easiest way to do that is first of all open up a Word document, type in my new heading, my first paragraph. Okay, so then you would have the whole document written out in Word. This is how I do it, only because my spelling is not the best and I find Microsoft Word helps. And then so from there I would copy all of the document that I have created and go into the new Notepad document that I've started already and paste it into here. And then I would create this in the exact same way as I did the other posts, or have a look at the other posts and see how they were created, which might be this bit of code for the heading. In this particular case, we can see it's got some code saying that the style is to have the text aligned in the center, and you would know this because you copy this is you found a page that's very similar to the one that you want, so you know that this is a heading in the center based on what you've looked at, and so you're going to copy that over here. We're going to have this heading in the center. We know it finishes off with the closing tag like that with the / and H1. That's all you need to close it off. You don't need to put this bit of code at the end as well, that's just at the start. And then we know we have a paragraph which is done like that, and closing paragraph tags. There we go, so that would be a heading in a paragraph. Then we would have to get familiar with putting in an image if we want that. Okay, I'll just quickly do one here. So let's have a look and say that we've okay, media. I'm going to open up the library, and I'm running through this very quickly because I'm sure that you'll be able to re-watch this if you need to. I'm going to open that library up to find an image that's already there. So let's say you've uploaded an image earlier on, this particular one. I'm going to edit that. There's the image. Okay, now this is going to be far too big for my page, but that's not important right at this moment. So here's the file URL. I'm going to right click on that to select it all, copy it, and go back to my Notepad page, paste that in. Okay, so that's the image link. Now if we just put it in like that, it won't actually work. You need a little bit of code. So this first part here, we're opening up the tags, and we close the tags with that there, which I'll delete back now. So the image goes in with img src, which stands for source, equals, so you're telling it that the image source equals, then you put it inside quotation marks. I'm just pressing delete here so that my link pops up in there. Go to the end of the link, close that with the quotation marks. So see where it's got this here is telling WordPress that the source is this, so then you put the the location of that image inside the quotation marks. So the next thing that it needs is an alt tag. Now an alt tag is important for two reasons. One, if someone can't actually open your image, this is a little bit of text that will be displayed instead, and it tells them what it's about, but it also helps to tell search engines what that image is about too. So it's good to have keywords in there as long as the keyword's relevant and you're not just doing it for the sake of it. So then we open up our inverted commas there, and we put in a tag for it, which might be my new image. Okay, we close that as well. Open and close the tags every time. We can put a title in there, which might be the same as the alt tag. Now the difference here, I'll just copy and paste this in. The difference with the title tag is how do we explain that? Okay, so for example, this is nothing that's really read by the search engines, but if we were to go to a blog page and hover over it for a moment, now this one obviously doesn't have a title tag because nothing happens, but if a little bit of a title pops up near your arrow there, that's because it's got this title part here. So it's not 100% necessary, but I just want to do it so that you can see what it is. Then the next thing, we're going to have class. Now what's this all about? Class is for when, oh sorry, I forgot the equals. We're going to say equals, and then we open it up again. The class is, now do you want the image to show on the left, in the center, or on the right? So we would have say align, and then we're going to either say left, right, or we can say center, and it always uses the American spelling for words like center, or we can say align right. Now in this particular case, the image is far too big for the page, so it doesn't matter really what I put here, it's going to look distorted anyway. But if I wanted to, I could change the height and width of the image to be something that I want it to be by typing in h equals and then putting in a value of like 350 pixels or something there. But again, I'm not going to do that right now. I would suggest that you just find images that are of the size that you want them to be when you put them into your page, and do it that way. That actually has a couple of different benefits. One, you don't have to worry about the height stuff in here, and two, it makes your pages load a lot faster if it doesn't have to load a big image and then shrink it down. So then the last thing that we need to do here, I think that covers most of the important bits of information, is that we have to close this image tag. So basically that whole thing there is what we need to tell WordPress that we want this picture done. So then it would be a case of selecting all the information that we've just created, right click on that, click copy, and go back to our new post page, my new post, right click, paste it in there. Now if we had a website set up where we use this here, this here for creating the excerpt for the post index page, we would put in a description there. If you want people to be able to comment, make sure that's ticked. I have them turned off on this particular site. Who's the author? That will only work if you've got other users to select from. It's also important that we set a featured image, which you click on that. Click on media library if it's already uploaded, or you can upload files by a new one there by just dragging and dropping it in there, as you would have learnt before. Or we can just go in here and click on the image that we want to be featured image, set the featured image, and now we're done. The next thing there is just simply choose the categories that the post needs, type in some tags, which are done by saying like tags, comma, space, and you type in as many tags as you want like that. Another tag, another tag, so sorry, that goes in like that as well, and separate them all by a comma. Click add, that will automatically add those in. And once that's all done, you could just publish it then if you wanted it to be live. But there is one other really cool feature that I'll show you. Now let's say for example that you want to update regular content, which you should be doing, but it's not always convenient to do it for 3 times a week. But if you have 5 different posts that you want to put together on a Sunday and make sure it's posted out throughout the week or over the next 3 weeks, then all you have to do here where it says publish immediately, click edit. and just say when you want that to publish, set the date and the time, and click OK. And in this case it's still immediately, but that could be set to, actually I will change it just to show, okay, I'm going to do this tomorrow, click OK, and so now it's not set to publish, it's set to schedule. So as soon as I'm happy with that, I can click schedule. So as soon as it gets to that date and time, this here will be published, but for now I'll just preview it so we can see what it looks like, and it should look terrible actually. Okay, so as I said earlier, the image is way too big for this page, and we've got our first paragraph in there, the first new heading. So in this case, if this was a real situation, you'd put this image in, it was way too big and it messed up the formatting of your site and all your paragraphs that go in there with it, then it would simply be a case of shrinking it down or cropping it to the size that you want, which I won't cover in this particular tutorial. And that's about it.